Hello everyone! So tonight I'm very lucky to be speaking with Alexina X and Yves-Antoine Rivet, the duo behind Lemlen and Woodworks Lemlen. Hello guys!
Hi!
Hi! How are you doing?
We're doing really great.
Very great.
So just heads up, right, like I did in the French part, we have maybe a slight lag in the internet. So, but I think we did a great job the first time around, and we managed not to speak each and everyone on the top of each other. So I think we'll be okay this time as well. But just in case, I just want to say thank you so much for being here tonight. I'm very, very glad to be speaking with you. Maybe we can dive right in because the first time around it went really, really fast and I have so many questions I want to ask you. I want to ask both of you how you entered the fiber world and maybe a fiber world for Alexina and the woodworking for Yves-Antoine. How did it all start for you?
You can start.
Okay,
I'll start before.
Chronologically, I started. So yeah, I started as a knitting instructor. And through my knitting experience, I discovered spinning at La Société Textile in Montreal. And from there, well, it was just clear that that was the career I wanted. So I studied full time, and from there also we knew that I wanted to do official studies. So I am also enrolled in Olds College in Alberta for the Master Spinner program. It's a 6-year program, so I'm currently working on that. And then the opportunities just started rolling in, right? So I got an offer 2 weeks before the Twist Festival. Julie Biron was supposed to teach spinning there, and she contacted me and offered me to replace her. And so I went to Twist Festival, and since it was such a short notice, I needed spindles to teach the students.
Like in 2 weeks?
Yeah, exactly. Less than 2 weeks. So about 3 days before the class, Yves-Antoine, who regularly works with wood, sanded some spindles for me. I was like, oh, I want them like this and that way. He figured out a design, and he produced both the drop spindles and supported spindles.
Oh yeah, both.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah.
Well, you just jumped right in and you said, okay, I will make spindles for you.
Yeah, I thought, okay, I have a belt sanders. So I just took some pieces of wood, sanded for a shape, the more balance I can figure it at this moment. Yeah, this is probably
the one?
Yeah,
but it's so cute.
But
yeah, it's the first models ever.
Yeah. But it works.
Yeah, it works.
And then and then afterwards I went to the Twist retreat to teach spinning again, and then I said, well, I need more spindles, and it was such an amazing experience, and the people from Twist were so welcoming and were encouraging me to continue down that path. So we officially decided to join for a booth at the Twist Festival, and after that things kind of just kept evolving and evolving. I mean, there was the pandemic, so then I started a fiber club, which you joined. From there, we started creating some spindles, and then there was the virtual Twist retreat, and that was when I said, like, okay, well, you officially now you need to buy a lathe and turning wood.
Yeah, but just before that, with Urso,
yes, it's true.
We had a contract for created a spindle, a signature spindle for Paul, the Urso. So with Paul, we designed this shape. We work on finding the good balance between the whirl and the shaft for good spinning for especially beginners. So after that, I was feeling like, okay, I I went as far as I can with the sanding type. So I bought the lathe.
The lathe. It's like the turning thing, the machine that makes the wood.
The machine that turn. It turned what we call a spindle.
Yeah.
It's just a piece of wood, and I create a spindle from the spindle.
I don't know if you can say that. I don't know if you can say that in English, but everything is in everything in French.
Exactly. So yeah, I started the lathe, and after that, we really felt that we can have our company. That Lemlen could be a complete complete offer,
an enterprise together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true that it's really complementary actually what you do, and it's very like 360. You have all the fibers information and all the fiber knowledge and all the wood knowledge also, that it's essential to processing the fiber. So it's really codependent, and it's a nice way of working. And by that, how do you organize the things that go out of your workshops? Like, for example, does the spinning influence the spindles, or is it the other way around? How does it work for you, for your creations?
In both directions, because we work together from the beginning to the end. You create the idea, we choose the wood together. So sometimes it started with a need for the wool, certain weight or a certain speed of rotation, and other time it's just wood. I have a piece of wood, it's very nice, I like to work on it. So, it's very heavy, no, it's very light, what do you think about this one? So Alexina can tell me, I try just to do supported or suspended, or no, don't do that with it. Okay, and so it's really it's always
back and forth.
Yeah. And do you spin yourself to try out your spindles, or do you give all the testing to Alexina?
Yeah, I and Alexina does the quality control, the absolute quality control. But I spin. I learned to spin, but mostly I tried a lot of spindle with no wool on it I can feel the balance, the technically what I need to feel when I spin it. I can say, okay, it's really fast, but it will not spin long enough. Or so I know I know the technique behind the spindle, but in the end, it's Alexina approval.
The seal of Alexina.
I'd say that also creating a spindle is as technical as spinning itself. So with time, we kind of like a mental encyclopedia of the proportions, velocity, physics. Like, it's a lot of aspects to consider and discuss because each wood is different. So we have to figure out how can we use this wood, but make sure that we have a spindle that will be very efficient and comfortable to use from the get-go.
So you can play with so many parameters: the length, the size of the, I don't know, the
world.
Sorry. So you so many parameters that if you change this, it will influence that, and then you have to change that. Yeah,
and I have some people will approach me and will say, like, I want to spin very fine, or I like to spin bigger. And one of the mistakes that happens when people start is that they're not aware of how parameters will affect their spinning experience. And like the biggest thing I notice is that people often have an object that's too heavy. If it's too heavy, then obviously they can't create yarn that looks like what they buy in stores, right? Because it's usually much finer. So I have to teach people, like, no, you can't buy a 60-gram spindle and expect to make a fingering yarn. You know, you're only going to get bulky with that.
Because it's too heavy, so it would break before you can go with something super aki.
Yeah, or it's not going to turn fast enough, so it won't add enough twist that the finer strand would need. So, you know, like I was showing earlier, you have different models, but they're not just aesthetic, right? They'll have different purposes. So we see here, this one is thinner than this one here that has a larger base. So this one is it's gonna spin longer than this one, but this one will be faster, right? Because within a certain amount of time, it can add in more turns. So someone who wants to spin very, very fine, well, I'm gonna try and get a model that's more like this. And someone who wants to, for example, spin longer fibers, I might get them something more like that. Or if it might be easier, something with this shape.
Okay. So this one would spin for a longer time.
Yeah. So something that has a wider warp, and it goes because of the circumference, right? The circumference is this much. This one here, the circumference is much smaller.
Yeah, it's true, and it's more evident when you see it from the bottom like this. You really see the difference.
Yeah, and so here we have drop spindles, and they're different in length, and they're different in. So some will be more adequate for climbs, some will be more adequate for very, very fine spinning. And all of these things, I like to discuss them with Yves-Antoine so that we can figure out what people need the most.
Yeah. And so you design that with your clients, like they reach out and they say, "Oh, I need this type of object," and then you propose to them specific, or people don't know what they want. Maybe.
Yeah. There's order very, very specific. I even had a drawing one time.
Yes.
So
on the
really clear.
on the spindle.
Yeah, with the shape and all the detail on the shaft. It's all right, and others just want
a beautiful object.
A beautiful object, or something easy.
Yeah, easy to use.
What is your absolute favorite thing to do in your work, either together or like when spinning for you, Alexina, and when working the wood for you? What is it the design? Is it seeing the final product? The favorite thing?
Yeah, design is fun. In my case, it's we were discussing that having new ideas, like having a company, having ideas for the world of spinning, having ideas in regards to projects that we can offer the public, and so like figuring out something and throwing it out into the world and seeing it become, that for me is the most rewarding.
That little aha moment. Like I have an idea.
There's always the idea, developing it, and then learning through it, right? Learning with other people, learning because of a specific project. All of that is very exciting for me because I'm always trying to learn more about spinning. And for you?
Yeah, on my side it's really the shaft creation. When I cut on the lathe, I cut the shaft.
Yeah.
It's really there's a certain point when I know everything will go well. I know the because I don't go through the end on each spindle, on each shaft, because it's really thin, and when you work on it, the wood move. So at a certain point, I know, okay, this one gonna be a shaft, and this one will not. Mostly, it goes to the end, but it happened. But when I feel everything goes well and I have to add the last detail, and I'm just slowly cutting in the wood, I can do that all
This
day
is a
long.
nice feeling. Yeah, like you're in the zone and you feel good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I think I understand. And it's like your hands just work their magic and you're like, ooh, it all happens.
Yeah. And then you add a little catch on and it shake and you go, ah!
And do you have maybe for the next weeks or months, maybe something coming up? You have maybe projects or classes or something you want to share?
Yeah, well, I'll be teaching at Knit City.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to give 4 classes. They're going to be revealed tomorrow, so I'm not going to spoil the fun. But I can say that there will be 2 knitting classes and 2 spinning classes. So I'm very grateful to the Knit City team for allowing me to offer some spinning classes. And I'm excited about it because I tried to go with something a little different. And aside from that, we're really working on our building to have a space. So we're creating a wood workshop, a fleece transformation room, a prep room, a teaching room. It's also going to be a little bed and breakfast for students that want to stay for weekends. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're really excited to finish that during the summer that's coming, and hopefully when things change, we'll be able to welcome people. And I'd like to do events where people get together and we wash fleece together, and I can teach on fleece processing.
I can't wait to go over and spend the night. Yeah. And what about you, Yves-Antoine? So you're going to work on the building as well, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, I'm.
He's the builder.
I'm the builder of all.
You build the building from scratch?
Yeah.
And not from scratch. It's an old mechanics garage. So it was an old garage. So nothing. We're still climbing on a ladder for access the second floor.
Oh,
so,
yes. Okay. But it's nice. It's like a blank canvas. You can just build your dream.
I'm the client.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I work on it most
when he can.
When I can.
Yeah.
But
sure.
With the spring coming, I'm really looking forward to work on it.
Yeah, because it's your first summer over there, so you is it? Yeah. So you will really it will be easier to work than during the winter.
Yeah, absolutely. And I for a wood lover like me, it's really interesting because the wood prices rise. It's terrible. So a lot of wood that I'm gonna use, I will cut it with a friend.
From the forest trees.
Yeah. So
from the forest. Oh, okay. From the industry.
Yeah, a friend of mine has a
wood mill, like
a wood mill.
Oh yeah, okay.
So we start from the log to the plank, and so yeah, I have this to do also, but it's really fun and really satisfying.
I can't
this is
wait.
all our how to say, we moved from Montreal to be able to do this. So
yeah, it's like a life project.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what you build and what you come up with, and to come and come with you and wash fleece and learn how to do. I still have so many things to do, and I'm sure I would learn a great lot of things. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much for agreeing to speak with me tonight. I will put all the infos and all your website and the links to order if people want. So everything will be super clear to find you. Thank you very, very much. And I hope we get to see each other this year. Thank you. Have a nice night.
You too.
You too.
Bye.
Good evening. Bye.